everyone, and welcome to Rocket Learn. I hope that you are all well and are in the Christmas spirit. My name is David. I love telling terrible Christmas jokes, but I'm a teacher, so that's really handy for helping you with the English and maths work that we're going to be doing this week. I hope you're feeling good about that and not feeling too grumpy about having to do some work in the run up to Christmas. No, I know you're up for it. I can tell, I can feel it. So just before we start with today's maths activities, we're going to be doing some fractions, by the way. Just to remind you of your timings for the Silver Group for these live broadcasts. So we will always be 10 o'clock each day for the maths, and your English, your 500-word story work will take place at 11, and the really fun afternoon antics with my friend Mr. Garner will take place at 2 o'clock. I'm sure you're going to really enjoy those activities, so do tune in for Mr. Garner's session. So just before we get going today, it's probably a good idea to start with a joke. So let me see. Yes. What famous playwright was absolutely terrified of Christmas? Any ideas? Noel Coward. Noel Coward. Did you get it? Famous playwright. Noel Coward, terrified of Christmas. I think that might be a joke for the parents rather than for the Silver Group children, actually. But I quite like it. So, yeah. Okay. So let's carry on then. So before we get cracking with the individual tasks in the booklet, what I'm going to do now is give you an overview of the work today. I'm going to give you an idea of how to complete all the work successfully. Okay, so let's get cracking. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of stuff that you need to know before you do the questions in today's booklet. First of all then, key facts. First thing that you need to know is that a fraction is a number between 0 and 1. Fractions are an in-between number. And equivalent fractions are fractions that are the same, even though they look different. So, for example, 1/2 is the same as 2/4, is the same as 3/6. They're all worth the same. Now, you also need to know the technical vocabulary for fractions. So you need to know that the top of a fraction is called a numerator, and the bottom of a fraction is called a denominator. Okay, that's really, really super important. Now, you also need to know that we're going to be simplifying fractions today. And the way that you simplify a fraction is by using common factors. Okay, so a factor is a number that goes into another number. So, for example, 3 is a factor of 12. A common factor is a number that goes into two numbers. So, for example, 12 is a factor that goes into both 12 and 24. Now, by using common factors, we're able to simplify fractions. Okay, so in this case, we can see that 12 is a common factor of 12 and 24. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. 24 divided by 12 is 2. So by using a common factor of 12, we can simplify our fraction from 12/24 to 1/2. So that was all pretty straightforward, wasn't it? I think that you'll have found that pretty easy. However, if you do get stuck on any of the work this week, don't forget that these live broadcasts actually turn into recordings. So you can fast forward them, you can rewind them, you can go over stuff that you're not sure about. And that is one of the great things about learning this way through video. So you can totally learn at your own pace. Also, if you are struggling with anything, do ask a grown-up to help you. I'm sure that they'll be able to look through the video as well, and they'll be able to help you with absolutely no bother whatsoever. So before we get cracking with your work in your workbooklets, what we're going to do now is just go through a few examples just to make sure that you totally understand what you've got to do. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to be doing in your workbook is simplifying some fractions, okay? And there's a very easy way to do this. So on the screen, you can see that we've got a fraction, 12/18, okay, 12/18. And the way that we'll simplify this fraction is by first finding some common factors. So 3 common factors that go into 12 and 18 are 2, 3, and 6. They all go into 12 and 18. Okay. Now, if we use the smallest common factor of 2, okay, well, 12 divided by 2 gives you 6. 18 divided by 2 gives you 9. So that will allow you to simplify it down to 6/9. If you use the common factor of 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4. 18 divided by 3 is 6. But if you use the largest or the highest common factor of 6, then 12 divided by 6 will give you 2, and 18 divided by 6 will give you 3. So that will be your most simple fraction, which is 2/3. That's the most simplified that you can make 12/18. Okay, so that's all pretty straightforward. So just to remember that 12/18, 6/9, 4/6, and 2/3 are all the same number. Okay, they're different fractions, but they are all equivalent fractions, so they're all worth the same. And you found them out by simplifying 12/18 by using common factors. So all that is fairly simple. Now, you might be asked in the workbook, in fact, you will be asked in the workbook to simplify a fraction into its lowest terms or its most simple terms. And you will need to find the highest common factor to allow you to do that. So you've got to use your times tables and see what number goes into both numbers of a fraction. So the largest number that allows you to do that will give you your most simplified fraction. Okay, so good luck with the work today in your workbook. I'm sure you'll smash it and you'll do really well. If you do struggle a little bit, do get a grown-up to help you. Do look back through the video and the examples that we've just worked through, because that might help you. And if you're still struggling, then don't do any more than 30 minutes. So if you haven't finished all the questions after 30 minutes, stop right there, because we're going to be doing lots more practice later on this week, and we need to stay nice and enthusiastic. Okay, so don't do any more than 30 minutes. So good luck with all of that, and I will see you all at 11 o'clock for your 500-word story. So see you then. Have a good time. Take care. Bye.